Ahoy and welcome back. Back to work on the J10 4.7 swap. When we last left off, I was needing to drill and tap some holes in the intake manifold to make the power steering pump fit. I'm putting the power steering pump from a newer style Cherokee onto an older style 4.2 carbureted intake. So after much fiddling, I got this bracket right here to fit. I had to drill and tap a new hole, put that fancy spacer in there. Same with down here, did the same thing. It ain't real pretty, but it'll work. Now I just got to put the belt on, finish bolting up the motor mounts, get this pulley on, and it's ready to go in. And while fooling around with this power steering pump, I broke that off. But being that it's the low pressure side, I'm just going to drill and tap a hole and put that in it. So I just went and pulled the pulley off from my other motor. That's not going to work. It also doesn't line up with the pulleys this way. I think what it is, I think this is a newer block and probably water pump. I think it was like a 98. So this being like a 93, must have changed it somewhere in there. Thank you, Chrysler. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and proceed putting this into the truck without all that on there. Not that it's a big deal to put on after. I just like to put them together completely and then put it in. But I'll go to the junkyard in the morning and pick one up. Since I had such a hard time getting it out with this little Harbor Freight jack, I decided to do the right thing and extend the boom on it. I think that's thick enough. And instead of this would have only been inside the tube that much. Well, with my second hole, it would have only been in the tube that much. I think this will be better as it goes all the way in there. Just like that, it'll work, I think. Or it'll bend, or it'll blow the hydraulic out. Whatever. We're gonna try it. I think it's plenty strong. The hydraulic will probably just quit lifting if it's too heavy, but I really don't think that motor's all that heavy. If it was a diesel or something, I would think twice about doing this, but I don't feel like spending a couple $100 on a new jack when the only issue is that the boom wasn't long enough to reach into the engine bay because the truck's lifted. So give it a shot. It'll either work, it'll break, drop the engine on the ground, and I'll be out a bunch of money. So it's working. Doesn't seem to be bowing that boom much, if any. I think it's all good. Now I gotta put the clutch on. I wanted to try something a little different with this video and talk over the time-lapsed parts and just kind of narrate what was going on. I didn't know whether you guys liked the music or would rather this. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Should I keep doing this or just fill it in with music like I have been doing in the past? So putting this AX15 in this thing, it went pretty smoothly, but the ATV jack that I decided to try to use to lift it up in there, it looks smooth in the video, but I spent a long time trying to get that thing in there. It was a pain in the butt. I would not recommend using one of those jacks. A regular floor jack is better. Again, thank you AMC for putting in this removable floorboard. Makes getting to those bolts so easy. That's a little further back than I'd like it to be, but we'll make it work. That's an issue. So I decided just to use the old downpipe off of the Cherokee that I robbed this motor from and just rig it up to work with what I had. I really didn't feel like spending any money on exhaust work, so it was a little bit ghetto and chopped up, but it works out. I'm pretty much just holding this stuff up there, eyeballing it, making marks, and chopping it to pieces until it fits somewhat decent. So instead of going to the exhaust shop, I thought I'd do the right thing and use this flange here that's all bent and this bend, weld it together like so, and just connect it back to the exhaust I already have. Saves me a trip to the exhaust shop. I think I'm gonna try to straighten this stuff out a little bit, clean it up, try to make a decent weld on it so it don't leak. I realize that most people would probably never use this old exhaust, but I'm pretty much completely out of money for this build and I'm trying to get it done, so it is what it is. So I'm just setting this stuff in here, trying to get a rough idea where I need it to be to weld it. Obviously there's a huge gap in it. I'm gonna have to angle the pipe slightly and then test fit it again, make sure I got it where I want it. Otherwise that flange up there is kind of half on, half off. So between that and then I guess that slides inside. Probably just gonna bend it and fill it in with weld. I think that'll do. So if you guys like this kind of video where I just talk the entire time, let me know. If you don't, let me know that it sucked. You won't hurt my feelings. And if you really, really liked it, hit the subscribe button. Most of y'all don't subscribe, so do it now. Thanks for watching and good day.